this is Melissa with the Prize Foundation, and as you can see, today is a demo day. Before we begin, I just want to remind everyone to please like and share the Prize Cast. You can find us at the Prize Fest on Facebook. We're here every weekday at noon providing new original content from film to music, startup, food, fashion, comedy, you name it, it'll be here. If you can't make it with us at noon, you can always find us on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date with all of the content and our new videos. And with that, let's get started. So today I'm going to be showing you guys a pasta frittata. So what's a frittata? It's basically kind of like a crustless quiche, maybe a little bit like an omelet. It's an egg-based dish. We're gonna make it in a pan, but instead of a traditional omelet where you're spreading out your eggs, kind of cooking a little bit, a thin layer of egg, adding your ingredients and folding over, with a frittata, it's really more like a quiche. So the egg becomes a binder. And today what we're gonna be binding is a little pasta. So get ready to indulge. I'm using leftover pasta today. I had about third to a half pound left over from last night, but you can certainly use freshly cooked pasta. It'll also work. And today I'm going to add some kale, a little caramelized onion action, and some feta as well. So here we go. First thing we need to do is get all of our ingredients prepped and ready to go. So I've got a little kale. We kind of felt like we needed our greens this week, so we ordered 4 bunches of kale here at the house. And we are still working our way through. The nice thing about kale is it cooks down just like any other green, but you could do spinach here, chard, whatever you're feeling. All I'm doing to strip this is literally take your fingers, pinch it, and just sliding it along. And if you get a little bit too heavy of a stem, just pop it off. And I'm tearing this into little smaller bite-sized pieces. There we go. So our kale's done. I may or may not have done like a little bit ahead. All right. The other thing I have, just a couple of cloves of garlic. I like to take this little end off. It can be a little bit bitter. Just give them a quick little smush. And then I'm just gonna run my knife through this. And you could chop this really fine, but I think I'm just gonna do nice thin little slices today. Why not? Mix it up. When I'm cutting this, just kind of making sure that my fingers are tucked under there. You know, lose a finger. All right, so I got some nice sliced garlic. Whoop. Last but not least, I have 6 eggs. Just gonna put a touch of salt in here. Break up the yolks, mix it together. So for my eggs, I mean, could you do less? Probably not, but what I'm looking for in terms of volume for the eggs is I want just enough egg to bind everything. So I don't want a super thick, eggy frittata. It's really about using the egg to kind of bind everything together and kind of hold it together. I put a little salt in here, one, because I want my eggs to be seasoned, but also salt will kind of help break up those eggs and give you a nice homogeneous mixture, even, so you don't get strands of white. Anyway, that's what I was taught, but I'm sure I could be wrong. Okay, we're ready to go. So first thing I want to do is cook my pasta. So I've got 3 or 4 cups of cooked leftover pasta. This pasta, probably about 6 ounces dried, so maybe about 1/3 of a pound, 1/3 to a half pound of dried pasta. I'm warming up this pan. What I'm going to do is basically use some fat in here. I'm going to use butter today and a touch of oil, and I'm going to almost like brown and toast the pasta. It just adds such a great flavor. It gives you a little bit of texture. So not only do you get that chewy texture from the pasta, but you also get a little crunch for browning the pasta. Right now, I'm about a medium to medium high heat, just to get a little of that color. All right, letting that butter melt. Whoop. And then just a splash of olive oil. Just gonna swirl my pan. Make sure all that butter and fat is well distributed. And what I'm doing is kind of waiting for all of this foam to kind of subside. Now we're gonna add this pasta. So today I have unsauced shells. What else can you do? Well, you could certainly do like a long noodle, like a spaghetti, fettuccine, linguine, something like that. But pro tip, if you want to do that, if you think about when you have leftover pasta, like a long noodle like that, you put it in a Tupperware, it becomes almost like a little brick. So go ahead, put a little bit of oil in it to keep the strands separate, and then if you can, place it on a plate, almost making a nest so that, you know, it's not a brick of pasta. If you forget, it's totally no big deal. Throw it in your microwave for like 30 seconds with a wet paper towel, and that'll kind of help loosen up the pasta a little bit, and you can do this part just fine. As you notice, I haven't touched the pasta at all, and that's because I really want to get that nice browning on it, a little bit of crispiness, and so you have to be patient. You can't be shaking it the whole time, but here we go. Let's see what I got. I'm starting to get it. You can see right here. It's gonna give you a little bit different texture and a little bit different flavor too. And I love the crunchy pasta parts. Again, just that mix of chewy and crunchy. All right, I'm gonna give it just a few more, maybe another minute, and then I'm gonna add my kale. So, again, we got about a bunch of kale here. Curly leaf today, but you could certainly, as I said before, use a little of that Tuscan kind of dino kale or Swiss chard. And I'm just using the heat and the oil that's already, the fat that's already on the pasta to kind of wilt this kale. It won't take long. Greens normally cook down pretty quick. So what I'm gonna do now, as we get a little closer, a teeny bit of salt. I've already salted the eggs, and I've got a salty cheese, but I still want that kale, I mean, I'm really teeny. I still want that kale to get a little bit of salt. That's the only thing that hasn't really gotten any, all right? Yum. Just eating a big pile of pasta with eggs in it. A little bit of that chopped garlic. The reason I'm adding it now is because it's pretty thin. It's really slight. So I didn't want it to cook. You know, if I added it early on, a little chili flake too. If I'd added that garlic early on, it can almost burn. Something so small. So I just kind of add it at this point while I'm finishing off the kale. You know, really about 30 seconds to a minute. You'll start to smell those chili flakes, start to smell that garlic. That's about all you need. Last thing I have are those caramelized onions. Again, I'm just kind of toss them in a little bit here and there. It's looking pretty good. All right. And it, you know, if you had like a little leftover vegetable from last night, a handful or so, you know, cup or two, this is a great place to use them, all right? And then I'm gonna add, just a touch of oil, touch of fat along the edge. This is gonna help prevent my eggs from sticking. I'm just drizzling a little bit, all right? Maybe a teaspoon or two. Now I'm gonna add my eggs. And then one last whisk. All right, here we go. And I'm kind of swirling it around the whole pan just to make sure these eggs are distributed evenly. And last but not least, a little bit of that crumbled feta. All right. And for the feta, I don't know, this is maybe 2 or 3 ounces. You could add less, you could add more. Of course, really any cheese pretty much works. All right. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do, I may give it, you know, a little smush here or there, but now I'm gonna start kind of really forming that frittata. All right, really kind of make sure the eggs are kind of seeping in everywhere. And at this point, I'm kind of just gonna leave them be, all right? What we're going to do, if you're feeling brave, you can do it with me, is we're gonna flip our frittata. And I'm not saying we're gonna flip it in there, don't worry. But we're gonna flip it out and turn it over. So at this point, we're looking pretty good. And what am I looking for? I'm looking for the edges to be nice and kind of together. And I might even slide my spatula just like a little, just to make sure everything's kind of loosey-goosey, all right? This is looking pretty good to me. Now, before we do this, let me tell you the trick. So the trick is you gotta want it, all right? You can't kind of, it's gotta be a really quick shoop. And what we're gonna do, I've got a plate. This is a 12-inch skillet. It's kind of a standard dinner size plate. I'm gonna place my plate directly over the skillet. I've got this towel ready for my right hand. I'm right-handed. I'm putting it so that it protects right in here on my palm. I'm gonna take it all the way to the pan because your pan's got a lot of weight to it. So you wanna be right up on it, all right? And I'm using my left hand here, all right? I'm holding it still and we're gonna do it on the count of 3. Ready? All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. All right, and now, just use my spatula and kind of, man down, slide it right back in, all right? No one has to see those couple little pastas that slid off to the side, all right? And at this point, we just need maybe another 3 to 5. And again, I'm on kind of low. And what I'm gonna do now is just check to make sure my frittata is all the way cooked through. And what you can do, you wanna go in the center. You can take just a standard dinner knife and just give a little peek. And what am I looking for? I'm looking for like no liquidy egg. And you know, everything that's in here was warm. The egg was just 6 eggs. So we're good, all right? I'm gonna turn my heat off. So here we go. So I could take a plate and flip it again, but let's just make it easy on ourselves. Just gonna slide them. But again, you can slide it onto a plate too. I like to slide it on a cutting board. It's just easier to cut. And I'm gonna give this about 10 to 15 minutes. Just let it kind of set up for a second and then we're ready to roll, okay? Okay, so the frittata is rested about 10, 15 minutes and now we're ready to try it. So, just gonna cut right in. Did you hear that? I love that little crunchy sound. All right, I'm gonna give myself a good piece. All right, here we go. Okay, so you can kind of see a nice little layer of pasta in there. I might hold on 1 second. Why not? Because I've got a little parm. It just feels right. I know there's already cheese in it, but I can say more cheese. All right, so with parm, it's definitely best to, it's hard on the little corner there. I almost wish I had like a little bit of marinara kind of pop on this, but here we go. We've got a beautiful pasta frittata. All right. Yep, that's pretty tasty. So the egg's kind of holding it together. A little bit of crunch. You get that nice kind of a little bit of bitterness from the kale, a little sweetness from the onion, little punches of salt from that feta. Pretty good. So there you have it. Pasta frittata. Super simple. And all you need maybe 6 ounces, 8 ounces of pasta. And I tell you what, if you don't have that much, let's say maybe you've got only a couple cups, just go in a smaller pan. Use a 10-inch pan, use 4 eggs instead, and you're gonna have total success. All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining us today. If you make a pasta frittata, you know we wanna see it. And in the comment section below, let us know what you wanna see. I'm always curious. I'd love to hear what you're interested in. Until next time, make sure you're liking, sharing the PrizeCast, telling your friends and family, and of course, subscribing on YouTube so you never have to worry about missing an episode. We'll see you next time. Take care.